living la vida low-carb. This show is changing lives. We talking about your diet, trying to get you feeling right. Cut up them avocados, fry some eggs, time to explore the longest running health podcast, hosted by Jimmy Moore. Time to give up the crappy garbage, we're getting into ketosis. Every day is a new step to your goal, yeah, you're getting closer. Motivated and focused, don't stop, just go. Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the livinglowcarbshow.com.
When you do those videos, those comedy videos, you're real close, but it's funny. And I want to be funny, but that's really funny being this.
I gotta show the dental plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you gotta get her done.
I gotta show that.
Yes,
you know what
yes.
Speaking of get her done, you see my hat? You see my hat?
I see you country. You in the South if you're wearing Bass Pro Shop.
That's definitely a get her done hat.
That's a get her done. Yes.
Yeah. I wear this hat. I wear this hat just to piss some people off.
you just need your gun rack on your truck, and yeah.
You can't wear that hat. You black. What are you doing? What? You cannot wear that hat.
Yes, yes. All right, well, let's get this show on the road. Here we go.
All right.
Guys, that right there is my friend Dave Martin. He was on my Real Talk podcast a couple of years ago, talking all about this crazy world stuff. We're not going to talk about any of that here today, maybe a little bit, but mainly he's here today because he has an incredible story of how he was overcoming his prostate cancer without chemo, without really anything. And I'm representing today, brother. I got your hoodie. I bought this from you. Well, if I can get it right. Here we go. I bought your hoodie talking about how you beat prostate cancer. No surgery, no radiation, no chemo. Save the HIFU, which we're going to learn all about here in just a minute. So go follow him, you guys. It's a funky monkey one. I will definitely have it in the show notes, but C0MED1AN. Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. It's too damn long to look it up.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Just pin it. Just pin it.
I saw you have 666 followers. So, like, guys, we have to stop. We got to get the satanic symbol off of his.
Anybody, go add
anybody.
So it's 667. I saw that just now, and I was like, no. I love the Lord. No.
Like, go out of this interview, go follow the man, and then come back in.
Right. Anybody. I'm gonna refresh the whole podcast to see if anybody goes and please go follow him. Somebody that's not following you, but dude, right. you are about my age. You're slightly older. You were at my 50th birthday party. You were the star of the show, entertainment, and it was awesome having you there. Had a really hilarious moment, dude, that you said was the most funny audience interaction you've ever had in your career. I think for the podcast, I want to put it in right here so people can see what happened.
We need to go a different path, and my dick works. Fantastic, right? Right? How old are you, sir?
Your dick works fine.
Oh,
hello.
You know what? Did you get the
I got.
That's the clip I want right there. You know what? The show was over. Boy, you gotta do that damn thing, boy. You know you shit when you ain't gotta do nothing but sit there and you want to say, his dick works. All right, Dirk Gigler, I see you. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Mr. Tripod, I see you, boy.
She ain't shy.
How old are you, sir?
70.
70 and his dick work. That's look at God. You understand? Like an 18-year-old. Y'all need to do a commercial. I'm telling you.
She went there.
She went there. I was already there. She went there. She was like, his bleep works just fine.
Yeah.
And I looked over at Jimmy because Jimmy is record. I said, please tell me you got that.
I got that.
Please, sweet baby Jesus, tell me you got that.
Yeah, it actually threw you off your set a little bit because when you kind of gathered yourself, you're like, where was I?
Yeah.
I'm so lost.
Yeah. Was not expecting that that woman who I would guess is close in proximity age to the gentleman. He said he was 70, and she has to be close to that
She's 68. She's 68.
She's 68. So I was not expecting a 68-year-old woman, guys, to say, yeah, his works just fine. Not Nana. I didn't expect Nana to say that.
That's
Nana,
Nana.
Nana's still a freak. Not Nana.
That's Grand Nana to Gen Zer now. Yes.
Oh my goodness, Nana, you're supposed to be making pies and chicken and dumplings. You're not supposed to be saying that.
Yes, and then like an 18-year-old, that may even put like the cherry on top of it.
Yes, yes, and he was just sitting over there like Dirk Diggler, like Ron Jeremy in his first debut film. I was like, okay, sir, okay. I had to go over and give both of them a high five. It was literally, I started doing comedy in 2001. I have had a ton of awesome, ridiculously hilarious impromptu moments. Those always make the shows when they're unplanned. Jimmy, you know what I'm saying? Nothing is, I don't even know what number 2 is after this. This is right. This is that one. Number 2 is way down here. I don't even know. Nothing's ever going to top it. Nothing's. Well, the only thing that would top it would be for a couple that age to just rip their clothes off and start having intercourse right there in front of me. That's nothing's going to top it, y'all. Nothing.
Actually, nobody wants to see that. So.
Right. And I don't want, we don't need that to top it.
We don't need to know how the sausage is made to know that the sausage is good. So. Moving along, away from that sausage to your sausage, let's talk a little bit how you make that transition. That's called podcasting, there, brother.
Yeah, that's called a segue, y'all. That's a segue.
Segue. So, circa what was it? 3 years ago, you, I assume, went in for a routine visit with your doctor. Tell us the story of how you found out about the prostate cancer.
So, it was well, when I went to the urologist, that wasn't routine. It was, I knew that my PSA was high. For anybody who doesn't understand that, PSA is a simple blood test that gives a determining factor of if you're at risk for prostate cancer, or just a barometer for, hey, you need to go get some further testing done and get checked out even further. That's what a PSA number is, guys.
What was your number? Because I had a high number before. What was your number that caught their attention?
So first of all, anywhere from 0 to 4, guys, is okay. You're good. All right, 0 to 4, and that's up till around, say, age 60. After age 60 to 65, 70, they slide that number up to 6, just because of the age. But from 0 to 4, you're fine. I had been getting my prostate checked since I was 38. So I've been getting it checked regularly, all right, because it's a history in my family. My father had prostate cancer about 30 years ago, all right? So the general practice is for all men to get their prostate checked, meaning that PSA, and then they do a physical exam, which most men don't really look forward to. But quite frankly, the PSA number is far more important than the physical exam.
Yes.
Because the physical exam, I want to make sure I try to explain this real good to everybody. The physical exam will tell a doctor if a man's prostate is enlarged. It's not always enlarged, all right? In my example, my prostate was never enlarged.
Right.
But yet still I had prostate cancer. So you need both. They do both tests. So my father had it 30 years ago, and they say all men to start getting it checked at age 50 if there's no, just period. If there's a history in your family or you're African American, I'll expound on that in a minute. They say knock it back to 45.
Yes.
If you check both boxes, if it's a history in your family and you're African American, they say knock it back to 40. So when I met my naturopath at 38, I told her straight up what was going, she said, what's going on in your family history. She was extremely thorough as far as asking all the questions and me filling out the forms. So she said, okay, you're 38. I want you to go ahead and get a full panel of blood work. And let's go ahead on and get the PSA and get started on your prostate checks, because you know, I wanted you to start at 40 anyway. You're 38, it's close enough. So I started at 38. So every year, boom, 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 I'm getting it checked. Okay. Right. So in 2017, my PSA number started to tick up. I got some blood work done. And my naturopath will have me get 2 physicals a year instead of 1, which is another reason why I love her. She likes to every 6 months. She don't want nothing to sneak up on you. So my number.
A lot of allopathic care medicine, they will do 2 visits a year, but it's only 1 visit where they're actually doing the diagnostic blood work. Then the other one's like, yeah, you look okay, get out of here, you know, and it's really a throwaway visit.
Yeah. She gets the full blood panel done twice a year, which I love. So my number was like, I got it done. My number was, this is probably in early 2017, like the first one of that year, the first physical or blood work. And it was probably like, I can't remember exactly. It was like 5.5, 5.6. And immediately, you know, she said, oh, Dave, this is,
caught your attention.
She said, this is a red flag right here. She said, because you've always been, you know, 2.1, 2 point something, well below 4. And then I'll hear it all of a sudden it's 5.5, 5.6. So she said, all right, I want you to go back. We're gonna get this, just this test, just the PSA test, pretty much every 30 days to see what's going on.
Blood tests are just tests, and people oftentimes they get 1 bad test and they freak out. And I always tell people within my work, Dave, 1 bad test could be a bad test. So
it could.
Always repeat. So your naturopath is spot on. Let's do it again in 30 days and make sure we replicate. What was the number after 30 days?
So after 30 days, it was still ticking up. It might have been like 6.1, something like that. And she said, okay. If this gets anywhere near an 8, I want you to make an appointment with a urologist, and I'm saying you probably need to go ahead and get a biopsy, and I'm sure they're going to say that as well. So we got it done again in 30 days, and it was something like 7 or something like that. It was close to 8. Yeah. It was something like 7.5, 7.7. She was like, you know what, Dave, it's time for you to make an appointment with a urologist. So I did. I made an appointment with a urologist, and we scheduled a biopsy. This is near the end of 2017. Actually, yeah, it was in December when I got the actual biopsy. I didn't get the results, meaning the diagnosis, until January of 2018. So when I tell people I got diagnosed, you know, that's when he's looking at the I think it's called the pathology report or whatever they call it. He's looking at the stuff, and he says, yeah, man, we do find cancer in it, and it's cancer in a good number of areas. They take with the biopsy, they take maybe 13 or 14 little small pieces out of the prostate, and it was cancer in pretty much all of them.
Wow. Yeah, dude. So I was there about 10 years ago when I was 40, and my PSA was 20.7.
Mm-hmm.
Mine had always been 0.7, 0.8, 0.6, 0.9, like super good. Under 1 is like unbelievably good. And so it popped to 20.7. And again, like your doctor, mine kind of freaked out. Holy crap, what's going on? And they said, let's test it again. And it came back bad again. And it's like, all right, let's see what's going on. It turned out I had a urinary tract infection, which is rare for guys. Usually the ladies are the ones that get those. But I had burning fire gasoline coming out down there, and took some antibiotics and all the things that they treat it with. And then it came right back down to 0.8 again. So it's like it freaked me out because I was thinking the same thing for me. But good for your naturopath wanting you to keep an eye on that. So you get this diagnosis 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, as of now. And so what happened next?
So what happened next was the the ridiculousness of allopathic medicine is what happened next. I'm sitting there in the doctor's office, literally right there while he's reading the report, and he's like, all right, man, we can knock this right out. You know, we'll get you scheduled for surgery. And in my head, I'm like, well, he went to surgery real fast, real fast.
There was
you went to, he went to surgery real fast. And I'm not knowing anything about my treatment options with because now that I've got a diagnosis, or one of them things, I guess what I'm saying is, once I got a diagnosis, then I said, okay, then I went home and started digging and looking around.
Yes.
Well, as I'm sitting there in his office, I'm like, okay, I'm just hearing him out. He is literally trying to schedule me for surgery like within 10 days to 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like he's trying to write it down on the book right then in the office.
But
so go ahead.
No, Dave, a lot of patients don't have the gumption to push back. It's one thing I've tried to do in my own work, and you saw all those wonderful people at my birthday party the other night. We all pushed back on...
All of them pushed back. Anybody that's watching that was at their birthday party, you guys freaking rock. I love all of you guys. Oh, I met so many awesome people, heard so many awesome stories.
And
anyway.
As my audience here, they're the same way, because you get frustrated when you see try and not get better, just mask the symptoms, or just automatic treatment, no discussion, just this is what you do. And so a lot of patients are extremely trusting. What was it in you? Have you just always been kind of skeptical, a little side eye of, I don't really trust you? Or what was it that made you question that, other than the speed by which he was trying to do the appointment?
Well, even before, the biggest part of the answer is, I'm already going to question stuff, and that a lot of that goes to the knowledge that I had gained over the years from dealing with my naturopath. Anybody wants to know about my naturopath, she can help you out. Whether I'm in Charlotte and she's in Charlotte as well. Her name is Dr. Abernathy. She is phenomenal. The second greatest person that I know on the earth, second only to my mama. I would say my mama and my daddy, but my daddy with his sweet soul passed last year. So right after my parents, Dr. Abernathy, I don't know if you're watching or not, you know how I feel about you. I love you to death. So the things that I have found out from her, from meeting her at 38, and she's like most naturopaths, I'd say pretty much all naturopaths and homeopaths and nutritional medicine doctors. Let me explain something to everybody. They don't have a beef with medical doctors. They really don't. They don't have a beef with allopathic medicine. They just wish that allopathic medicine would not be so hell-bent on the things that is drilled into their heads in medical school and be blind or deaf to wanting to hear anything else. Well, she always told me, Dave, you don't have to, like when I met her, she wasn't like, oh yeah, go fire your primary care doctor. She would just be like, I can work back and forth with your primary care doctor, but when you got all of your physicals before, why did he never ask you to have this tested or this tested? These things are incredibly important. So once I started to get those little nuggets from her over the years, it made me understand and be more apprehensive about what I hear from the allopathic medicine side. It just did.
You became a critical thinker about your health? Who knew you do that?
Yeah. Now I was already a pretty good critical thinker about my health, which is how I found her in the first place, or which is what caused me to seek her out in the first place. I'm going to throw a name out there that people used to know. You've heard this name, and everybody that was at your party and most of the people that are watching this live that are on your page have heard this name. You remember that white boy that used to be on TV named Kevin Trudeau? Everybody remember him? That's how I found my naturopath. This man, who I hope is still doing okay and well, because the big powers that be do not like him. They do not like him. They do not like the message that he pushed. I saw an infomercial late one night when I was up. I've always been somebody who's up late, and he was talking about his book, Natural Cures. The cures, what they don't want you to know. And he did 2 versions of it, if you remember.
A lot of people ask me, Jimmy, how do you get such good deep sleep? Well, there's a lot of things that I do, but one of the newest things that I recently added is this upgraded magnesium from a company called Upgraded Formulas. Go to their website, upgradedformulas.com, and you can learn all about this nano technology that they use for this particular mineral of magnesium. Again, it's called Upgraded Magnesium, and it's got all the different forms of magnesium in it, using the nanotechnology so it gets absorbed a lot better. Guys, I have seen my deep sleep improve by as much as 30 to 40% simply by adding in this product along with sunshine exposure, darkness in the room, cooler temperature, all of the things that I always have done. So again, upgradedformulas.com is the website. Go check them out. I actually got to interview him over a decade ago.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. I got both of the books. The first book, you remember, he put all the stuff in there, but they were suing him, I think the FDA or something, and they lost. He won. They were suing him and he couldn't put the actual names of things in the book. So then he wrote a second book, like version 2. So I have both books right here at the house. And when I read the book, it said in the first chapter, it said, before you even continue in this book, the first thing that I want you to do in your local area is find you a naturopathic doctor. Find you a naturopathic doctor or a homeopathic doctor, somebody who did not go to medical school. That's what he says in the book. So I started searching around and I found my naturopath.
Good for you.
So I've always been, even in college, I was the person that sat on the front row, in chemistry class with 300 people in there, and the professor would just be turned around, just, doing this right here, doing this. And I'd be like, I need you to go back over that. I didn't understand that. And I'm looking at everybody behind me and they ain't understand that either. So I've always been one to, hang on there. You're moving too fast with this. So all of that balled up into, and then in addition, he was just talking too fast about surgery.
Well, and here's the thing. They talk to us like we're stupid.
Yes.
They talk to us like we can't have any possible knowledge about this decision. So he or she should just be able to unilaterally tell us what to do. And again, Dave, it sucks that people don't push back on that, like people like you and me and a lot of my audience. They don't. They just lap it up and they go, well, the doctor wouldn't do anything that would harm me. And yet,
right.
I hate to say this out loud, but it's true. Doctors harm patients every single day by giving
every single minute,
or taking a drug that they don't need. In my world, I wrote a whole book about cholesterol, and they put people on cholesterol lowering medications that don't have any business taking a medication for it. There's nothing wrong with their cholesterol, but they have convinced and scared people half to death that, and I'm sure when you pushed back, you got a lot of the doom and gloom thrown at you. Well, Dave, the chances of survival from prostate cancer, did they start pulling that bullshit on you?
All that. You're African American and you guys have a very high mortality rate. Actually, you have the highest. He's right. We do. He's right. And he was punching that. This dude was a used car salesman.
Yes.
Trying to sell me the car that he couldn't start. They had to come jump it. And then when we went to test drive it and went outside and cut off in front of the dealership. But he was still trying to sell me the car.
Yes. And
I was sitting there looking at him. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain this to you. Let me explain this to every single man watching this and every single person watching this, because you're either a man or you're someone who loves a man. Your daddy, your granddaddy, your uncle, your husband, your baby daddy, your other baby daddy, you love somebody. Okay, so listen to me very carefully. Even before I get into the weeds, if you get diagnosed with prostate cancer, especially if you catch it early like I did, which is why you should be getting it tested and all that stuff. If you get it early, do not get the surgery. Just take that away from what I'm saying, period. Do not. They're going to tell you everything in the book about it. Jimmy, this man looked at me and smooth talked, telling me that my eggplant was probably not going to work after surgery. And the way he worded it, I was sitting there listening to him and I was going, am I hearing that he's saying I'm not going to have sexual function? Or there's a very, very good chance that I'm not going to have sexual function? So I stopped him in the middle of his speech. I said, whoa, doc. I need a yes or no answer to what I'm going to ask you. And I used the word that starts with a D and ends with a K, guys. And I said, what I think I hear you saying is, I said, you know what? Screw that. After this surgery, is my going to work? Do you see how I'm looking in the camera, y'all? That is how I was looking directly at him. And I was not social distant. Well, this was before COVID. But I was 6 inches. I leaned into him. And he goes, well, We don't want to term it that way. See, when they start all that stuttering, when you start stuttering, hyperventilating, I ask you a simple yes or no question. Yes or no question.
Yeah.
I ask him again. I said, Doc, I need you to tell me, is my going to work or not? Well, yeah, and then he goes, well, that's a bit harsh. It's a process, Mr. Martin. Soon as he started all that bullshit, I got up out of the chair and I walked. And I hit the door, and he's following behind me. You know how guys remember, when we have to go to a doctor's office, whatever. You know how you go to a doctor's office and you in that room in the back where they're seeing you. So you come out of that room, but you're still in the back. You go down the hallway or something, and then you kind of go to where you check out before you go out into the lobby. So when I'm walking down this hall in the back, it's somewhat of a scene. Like, we're not barking at each other, but people can clearly see that I'm pissed, agitated, and that I'm leaving, and that he's running behind me, clearly trying to stop me from leaving. You can see that clear as day. And he goes, Mr. Martin, and I finally turn around and I go, what? He goes, I said, listen, I'm not getting the surgery. I'm not getting it. He goes, but this is very serious. You could die. I said, first of all, you don't know me. You don't know the power of my mind. And this is what I want to point out to you guys. You don't understand the power of my mind. I'm not going to die. I don't know what kind of patients you've had, but I'm not like any other patient. I started to tell him, I ain't really your patient no more because you're fired right now. Yeah. But I said, I'm not going to die. He goes, no, you're African-American. I get it. I heard all that. We got the high mortality rate, blah, 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 blah. I get it. Let me go get the violin out of my car. I got all that. I said, listen, you just told me that I could die. I'm not going to die. Or you said I could have prostate surgery where you snatch my prostate out and my ain't going to work because you couldn't answer no to tell me that it wouldn't kill that. So you say either I'm going to die or my eggplant's going to die. Jimmy, it's pretty much the same to me.
Yes. I was just going to say, when you lose your manhood, you might as well be dead. Listen,
every man out there is going to be shaking their head when I say this. It's a couple of things that make us men, that make us men, that make us men and alpha men and manly men. This is what makes us men, for us to be able to get up out of the bed every morning and go earn $1 doing something.
Yes.
It might not be a lot of dollars, but something, okay? We also want to be able to come home and take care of our family and loved ones and protect them if need be in any situation. And number 3, and I don't even know if it's number 3, it's probably 1A, we would like to be able to roll over and make physical love to the woman that we love and are also protecting and maybe the mother of our kids and all that kind of stuff. If you can't do those things, we ain't a man. At least as far as I understand. We ain't a man.
It's hard.
I'm not even married yet, Jim. I've never been married. My parents, before my dad passed, had celebrated 7 years of marriage. Do I believe in marriage? Of course I do. If I don't get married, fine. But either way, I want to have a significant other, either in my life, in the house with me, married, not married, whatever. I want to have something. How's that going to work in the dating process? Babe, I'm really liking you and I'm really ready to take it to the next step. And what I'm trying to say is, I brought my toothbrush and a bag. Yeah. And I'm going to be like, oh yeah, about that. Well, I got a whole bunch of movies we can watch on Netflix, and I'm really good at rubbing booties and rubbing your feet, and we can make it. No, I want to do the whole thing. Yeah, we're gonna need to have a conversation about that. How's that gonna work, Jimmy? How's that gonna work? It ain't, because if this ain't working, that ain't working.
Right.
I mean, right. I'm real good looking, but I ain't that damn good looking.
And that's the psychological part.
Listen, I think I'm the best looking man on the planet, because nobody's a bigger fan of Dave Martin than Dave Martin. If y'all ever see me live, you'll know that. Well, you see me now, you know that. But having said that, yeah, I'm pretty sure a woman would leave me for a Flavor Flav stunt double if this right here is working and mine ain't working at all. Listen, ain't but so much hand holding and neck kissing and making out and me going downtown, and there ain't but so much of that can be done. It just ain't. So I continued to walk out of the doctor's office. Let me give you another part. His office called me, his assistant called me 3 weeks straight, every single day.
Whoa.
Like the worst telemarketer in the history of telemarketing. Hi, Mr. Martin. Yeah, this is Dr. Such and Such's office, and we understand your decision, but we just want you to really understand the gravity of what blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, I understand gravity. I get all that. And I was going out to do something for the day on like the third week. It was like I remember it was like a Monday or Tuesday morning or something like that. And I saw the number pop up again from that office. And I said, look, do not call me again, okay? Do not. I understand what I'm doing. I'm a big boy. I know what I'm doing. I understand the ramifications. If I need to reach back out to you guys, I will. Do not call me again. I have been cordial and respectful with you for the last time. Now, the next time you call me, if you call me, I'm going to be not black. I'm going to be that other word, okay? So don't call me no more. And that's what I had to do to get them to leave me alone.
Yeah. It almost begs the question, is the money aspect of it that important to them that they're willing to?
The answer is yes.
Of course. Oh, no, I know the self-evident questions.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's the biggest travesty. If they gave a damn about your health, they would have given you multiple options and said, Mr. Martin, this is your options. They didn't do that. They gave you one monolithic option, and then they berated you about that one option. Sounds kind of like the last year or so with something
Sounds
else.
kind of like the last 2 years or so, right? Especially the last year. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
So you had the confidence. You said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm moving on. Tell us about how you found HIFU.
So then me and my naturopath, immediately I go sit down with her, and I told her, I said, Doc, I'm not getting the surgery. She said, yeah, I get it. I get it. And I said, so we started a very aggressive approach of holistic treatment, naturopathic holistic treatment for 3.5 years, guys, quite frankly, because this is this is 2018. I didn't find out about HIFU until I'm going to say August of 2021.
Okay.
So this whole time I'm treating it holistically, naturopathically. I also had, I didn't hear you.
6 months ago, you're saying?
Yes. Wow. So very recent. And I also was reached out to some guys who are out of Tennessee who have dealt with holistic treating of specific cancers. If anybody wants to know who they are, you can reach out to me. They like to fly under the radar for obvious reasons. And
what was the holistic naturopathic approach? What were you doing for 3 years? Supplements?
A lot supplements.
Palmetto, like saw palmetto.
Yes, a lot of that. Saw palmetto supplements. Pretty much pulling all the sugar out of my diet because sugar feeds cancer. And also pulling out all the carbs because that turns into cancer. The keto people out there going, yeah, say it. Tell it, Dave. Say it.
You're in friendly territory. We know.
I was doing, oh man, this is quite expensive. I was doing high dose, super high dose IV vitamin C.
Yes.
Which is a big boy in cancer treatments. I got it done at a place in Charlotte. I'm not going to name them because they run under the radar too. They don't even have it listed on their services and on their website for obvious reasons for people that are in this lane. Y'all know why they don't. Yeah. My naturopath was like, you can't even call them on the phone and ask them about it because they're going to be like, oh, no, click. We don't know what you're talking about. She said, I've already talked to the guys. They know I sent them your picture. They know what you look like. When you walk in, walk over to them and whisper in somebody's ear what you're there for, who sent you. They'll take you into another room. They do a whole bunch of IV treatments there, but they took me off by myself to do mine. So I was going there twice a week. I was getting 100 milligrams of vitamin C because that's Nobody on the earth can take that much orally. You have to take it. You have to take it intravenously.
Because
And
intestinal issues with vitamin C, especially at that dosage, my goodness.
well, if you take it orally, my naturopath, and they were saying it will chew your intestines up. It will tear you up. You can take it intravenously. I went and they gradually take you up. Like the first day I was at 25, and then they go up to 45. Blah blah blah. I was doing that.
Yeah. So
very expensive.
And imagine. So one of the things that I've interviewed a few cancer doctors about, and I've had many of them on my show, they talk about hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT. Did you hear anything about that and try it?
I actually did not hear anything about that. What's funny was after I found out about HIFU, I was talking to somebody and they mentioned that to me, and they told me about that. But it was a lot of stuff, well, not a good amount of stuff that I wasn't able to get to just because of the money.
Well, money, and then even
everything is being paid out of pocket. Everybody knows that because insurance ain't gonna touch none of it unless it's allopathically.
Yeah,
so
and even HIFU, HBOT, all these things, and the vitamin C had to come out of your pocket. Like these are all kind of fringe treatments that are not in the mainstream because most people are taking the option of the surgery like the doctor pushes. And so that's why nobody knows about them. It's why I'm so passionate talking to people about other things, because this is the only way you learn about them.
That's right. The HIFU, okay, so you were asking me how I found out about. So let's get to the good part. So 3.5 years in, so a little bit more than that, say around August, I had another pain that I was dealing with that was separate from the cancer, and a buddy of mine, his name is Shalak. He's probably watching. We're real tight. I met him at a local restaurant that I go to a lot here in Charlotte, and we started chatting it up. And he's very much into holistic lane of treatment and healing and stuff like that. He's quite knowledgeable. So he said, well, Dave, he said, you having this other pain? Why don't you go just see an acupuncturist for that? And Shalak, if you're watching, shout out to you, my guy. You know I love you, bro. So I go see this acupuncturist, and something told me, something was tapping me on the shoulder. I think it was God, or you can call it the universe or your inner voice or whatever you want to call it. Something said, mention to her that you're dealing with prostate cancer. Just mention it to her. You don't know, just mention it. You know, this is Eastern medicine. She knows stuff. She knows people. They do stuff out of the box that fixes great things all the time. So as soon as I walk in, I mention it to her. I said, hey, I'm also dealing with prostate cancer. And she goes, you say you have prostate cancer? I said, yes, I do. She drops her pad on the table. She said, oh my God, Dave, I'm so glad you came in. I'm so glad you told me that. I think I have something for you. And I'm like, okay, big guy. All right, okay. You're doing something. I don't know what you're doing. So anyway, she comes back in the room about 2 or 3 minutes later. She said, Dave, have you ever heard of something called HIFU? And I was like, no, I don't even know if is that a word, or she said, no, it's an acronym. HIFU is HIFU. It stands for high intensity focused ultrasound, guys. High intensity focused ultrasound.
Can I tell you the first time I saw that shirt and you started putting hashtag HIFU all over social media? I was like, hi F you? Like I was like, hi F you. I didn't know what
which is also good. You're not wrong. So, which is kind of what it says to the allopathic model.
Yes, that's true.
Hi, still got it.
Did you go keto and thought you had to give up wine? Well, let me introduce you to Dry Farm Wines. It is the world's first sugar-free alcohol that is lower than your typical wines, organic, made at local farms that do it the right way. Most of the wines that you buy are from 3 really big companies, loaded with additives and preservatives, so many dozens of those kinds of things. You don't want all that junk in your wine. So go to dryfarmwines.com/Jimmy and they will ship you these wines. And just because you listen to this podcast, Dry Farm Wines is going to give you a bottle in your first order for just 1 cent. Go to dryfarmwines.com/Jimmy and you will get your bottle of wine for just one singular penny. Go check them out. Dry Farm Wines, you guys. It's wine o'clock somewhere. Let's go get some wine.
So, she goes, Dave, she went out of the room because her dad used to work for a company that's right here in Charlotte. They're like a concierge that is the go-between between the patient and the HIFU doctor that I use. I will say his name. His name is Dr. Samuel Peretzman. He is amazing. Like I said, anybody you can reach out to me. Hold that shirt up again. I have my actual cell phone number on my shirts, guys. On my stuff. I have my actual cell phone number.
Mine's forward.
On the shirt. Yeah. I'm holding my shirt up too. So that's how passionate I am about this, guys, that I don't mind if some random number calls me in the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of the night. It's that passionate for me. I was blessed with this, to have my life saved and have my quality of life saved, that I want to pass this around. So the acupuncturist says, Dave, HIFU, high intensity focused ultrasound. She said, Dave, they take high intensity beams or heat beams of ultrasound and they shoot it at your prostate. It blows up the cancer. You have it's outpatient. You have no chemo, no radiation, no incontinence issues. That's something else that if you know anybody that had the surgery, even if they haven't told you, ask them if they have to wear a diaper. The answer is going to be yes for the rest of their life. So your eggplant doesn't work, and you have incontinence issues. You have to wear a diaper forever. So she goes, Dave, this is the rich man's cure for prostate cancer. I said, what do you mean? She said, Dave, and I'm going to pose this question to all of you guys. When is the last time you can remember of a rich or famous rich former president, congressman, athlete, Hollywood actor who died from prostate cancer? And I said, you know what? You make a good point. Never. She said, exactly. You never hear of them dying from prostate cancer. They might die of another cancer. They might die of a heart attack or something else, but not prostate cancer, because they all know about HIFU. And if they don't, so one of their buddies at the golf club knows about it, or their urologist will tell them about it. And I'll tell you why they tell them about it in a minute. But so she says her father used to work with this company in Charlotte called HIFU Prostate Services. I love them to death too. If y'all ever call over from, you go to talk to a guy named Robert. Anyway, like I said, just message me and I'll tell you all this stuff. And so she said, Dave, they're going to put you in touch with. She said, I went to go talk to my father because I wanted to find out the name of the doctor who they recommend everybody to. Like I said, his name is Samuel Peretzman. Not only is he the GOAT in Charlotte, North Carolina area, he's the GOAT nationwide. He's like the top 3 or 5 doctors that perform HIFU. People fly from other countries to have him perform it. He's been doing it for 17 years. He could do it blindfolded. The FDA just approved this in 2015, as ridiculous as that sounds. It started, ladies and gentlemen, in Europe, like a whole bunch of other stuff. It started in 2001. The FDA sat on their hands until 2015 to approve it to be done in the States. So he used to go do it in Cabo, Panama, Canada, and especially the rich guys. Hey, they just fly over, get it done. He said they would go play golf the next day. Just like that. So I immediately, go ahead.
Is one treatment, or do you do a series of treatments? What
no, it's just one. It's one. You know, I lay down on the table, 2.5, 3 hours later, your cancer is gone. It's out of there. It's that simple.
How did they quantify that it's gone?
Because, well, the way they really quantify it, so he pushes it out 90 days for you to have another PSA reading. Remember that PSA number that I was talking about earlier, guys? So I actually just got mine now. So my procedure was done on November 5th. All right. So then December, January. So then February 5th, actually, I was about a week late getting the PSA. So I just got my PSA results back week before last, 0.24. So ladies and gentlemen, it's gone.
And
that's a handsome cancer-free face right there.
And your dick works still.
And my dick works. Well, hell, you said it, so now I'm gonna say it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how you really know. And they told me, they said, hey, you're gonna come back and have that PSA, and we expect it to be well under a 1, and it was. So And the reason why they wanted to wait 90 days is because, with the heat and stuff hitting the prostate, it's trauma. So, it swells, and they want everything to settle back down and everything to, calm all the way down. That's why they said it for 90 days to get an absolute, they said you get an absolute true reading of exactly what's going on. I had a catheter. When you come out of the procedure, I had a catheter for about 4 or 5 days, and not the uncomfortable one that your granddaddy used to wear, y'all, that goes into the pee-pee. They have a different one now. This is so cool. I don't know if you know about this, Jimmy. They put the catheter right into your abdominal wall, about 3 inches above my junk. And as crazy as it sounds, 0 pain. Do you know I took no pain medicine? They didn't prescribe me any pain medicine after the procedure, and I didn't have any pain. Wow. So you have the catheter in for 4 or 5 days, and I was able to, I have the little bag for my leg, and you have a bigger bag for when you sleep at night. And then after that, they have you to start peeing on your own again, and then you kind of measure. They have you measure with this thing, how the volume of peeing to let them know it's coming back right. Yep. So after about 5 more days, so 10 days, about 10 days after the procedure, the catheter came out. I look now, I can't even really see the scar. The scar is just very, very small. You can't even see it. So the procedure is that easy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go to a prostate health website, if you Google a prostate health website, I don't care where it is, I promise you, HIFU is not mentioned one peep. This is how much they want to keep this from people. Well, even on my doctor's website here in Charlotte, it just says HIFU specialist. It doesn't tell you what HIFU means. It doesn't tell you what he does. It just says HIFU specialist. But when you call in, while you're on the answer machine, all they talk about is the robotic, because all of them do it robotically with the surgery. All they talk about is the Da Vinci robotic surgery for prostate removal. And the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, money. Right. In Charlotte, where I live, they get basically $75,000 for the surgery. My HIFU, a little meager $25,000.
Still a lot of money, but that's better.
It's still the money. But here's the other kicker: all of you people out there with fantastic insurance, insurance does not cover HIFU.
Yeah, and that's
unbelievable.
The insurance companies are just as corrupt as the healthcare industry.
Approved by the FDA, Jimmy.
Yeah. Hey,
an actual medical doctor performed this on me, Jimmy. Not approved by the FDA, because they know everybody can't just go put their hands on $25,000 and you can't break it up in payments. I tried. I'm black. I tried to put it on layaway. It didn't work. I was like, look, what about $10,000 down and then 5 this month? 5. It's like, Mr. Martin, there is no payment plan. There is no pay. $12,500 now. I had to pay $25,000 2 weeks before the procedure.
Yeah, that's tough.
Certified check. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dude,
thank you.
I want to be a fly on the wall when you go back to that allopathic doctor from 3 years ago.
And I'm going to do it.
I know you are. And
I'm going to do it. I'll pay him for a visit just to do it.
Videotape it. Because look, even before HIFU, all that weeping and gnashing of teeth that you were going to die or whatever he thought was going to happen.
Right.
You survived 3 years to get to August last year when you finally found HIFU, and now you're basically cured from your prostate cancer. And by the way, story, congratulations. I love what you're doing now. Guys, he's selling this merchandise.
Yes.
Special website. There we go. Save the HIFU. So this
or save the eggplant and then HIFU. And that's actually, I'm writing a book, guys. That's actually going to be the name of my book. It's going to be called Save the Eggplant, because I ain't just trying to help people find out about this amazing treatment which can save their life. It will save their quality of life.
Yeah.
It will also save the quality of life of your significant other. Ladies, if your man that you love has this and he's able to get HIFU, mind you, like I said, if they catch the cancer early, which is just by being proactive, if they catch the cancer early, you're pretty much a 99% chance to be a candidate for HIFU. So ladies, that keeps you smiling too, right? Jimmy, I've talked to probably at this point anywhere between 50 and 70 men, all who had the surgery. 0 have sexual function.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
All of them told me they're also wearing a diaper with incontinence issues. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand how this is just wrecking people's lives? Everybody hears about breast cancer when it comes to women. Everybody's familiar about prostate cancer when it comes to men. And it's a big dog. And to my African-American men out there, get off of your high horse and go get the test. You don't want them to give you the physical exam, which is a little, uncomfortable thing. Then get the PSA test. At least get the blood work, because this is saving not just your life, it's saving the life of the person that you love and that you go home to. That's just all it is to it. It's insane to me that, I'm shocked, but I'm not really shocked with the way this medical industry is set up. I'm shocked, but I'm not really shocked. But
yeah, sadly, I've been at this 2 decades, and they have been corrupt since I've been around, and they're still corrupt. So,
yeah.
I see on your Instagram page, you do have a link tree. So, guys, if you want to order here, the link is at the very top. You can click on that, sends you right to the gear.
Yes. I have all different color of the hoodies. Ladies, we got the little sexy fitted V-neck, so you can push your things up in there. You know what I'm saying? We got the sexy V-neck for the ladies. There you go. We have we have just the hooded sweatshirts, the fleece without the hood. I'm gonna have hats coming out very soon. I'm working on that now. So this is we need to get this message out. I set this stuff up so that, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much, brother. I set this up so that when so that when someone sees Jimmy or anybody walking down the street with this shirt, it's going to cause a couple of questions. They're going to say, what does that mean, save the eggplant? What does that mean? What does HIFU mean? And that's what I want. I want it to generate questions. I want it to generate a conversation. And guys, even if you're 35 and everything's fantastic, understand, I know, right? I know. And understand, guys, that, I hope that you this doesn't cross your path, but let's just face it, things cross our path, or your dad or your uncle or your granddad. It's always better to be empowered with the knowledge.
Yes.
People that walk around talking about, I don't want to know, I just want to drop dead. No, I want to know. Because me knowing is why I'm here able to be talking to you guys. Oh, Jimmy, you know this. Let me remind these guys. Let me remind everybody. Or let me also let everybody know. My oldest brother died of prostate cancer in 2019. Did y'all hear what I said? 2019. I got diagnosed in 2018. Yeah. So I'm at my brother's funeral looking at him in the casket, and I have prostate cancer. My mother's burying her firstborn child, her oldest son, with prostate cancer. I was like, she's not gonna bury me. I told this to the doctor. I told it to my naturopath. I am not going to have my mama bury me. I'm going to bury my mama the way it's supposed to go. That's also going to be in the book, guys. Just the power of how strong our mind is. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just telling you that I'm that much of a shit talker and I'm that much of a dog. I never, ever thought for 1 minute that this was going to take my life. Never. Well, don't even give into it. If you get a diagnosis of whatever it is, there's always a way to fight. There's a way to fight.
And
I understand that.
And I've known you for a couple of years. You've never revealed this until recently when you started coming out. And I was like, hey, dude, what's that about? And you're like, dude, let me come on your podcast. I'll tell you all about it. So I'm really glad you did. We're out of time now. Again, guys, and Dave Martin, it's kind of funky monkey. I'll keep it on the screen for a second, but go look in the show notes and you'll be able to click on the link directly to his Instagram page. And then he's got the little link tree there that you can go and check out his Telegram page, his Twitter page, all that other stuff, and as well as where you can get the merch. Save the eggplant, HIFU.
Save the eggplant.
And
that's it.
Is your phone number. That is your phone.
That's it. That is my actual phone number, guys. That's my phone number. You can call me. If somebody runs into you have the shirt on, hey, call Dave. You ain't got to try to explain to him. Call Dave. He got you. Yeah. I'm that passionate about it.
One more question. What's the tentative date for the book?
I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna have this thing wrapped up by fall, and if I'm moving slow, winter.
I'm an author friend in your phone, Jimmy Moore. I've written a book, so if I can help you in any way, you let me know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's coming along pretty fair. It's coming along pretty good. You know, everything is in my head. Just gotta type it. Just gotta type it out.
Well, congratulations on bucking allopathic medicine. I do want to hear all about what happens when you confront the old doctor. You know, and it's unfortunate, but it's more normal than I wish it was. It's where
I have a feeling as soon as I sit down and start talking shit, he's gonna be like, "Okay, Mr. Martin," all right, and he's gonna walk, he's gonna run out. You know, that's what he's gonna do. You know, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna tell me, "You can't record. You can't record." You know, that's what he's gonna do.
Well,
but by the number already be number, I'll be like, "Well, you ain't gonna take the phone from me."
If he was scientifically curious, he'd be like, "Ooh, tell me more," you know, kind of thing.
No. He knows about this, Jimmy. He knows the doctor that performed it on me. He just didn't tell me. That's the evilness of it. He knows him.
That's medical malpractice, if you ask me. So, all right, we are totally out of time. Dave, love you, brother, man. I'm so
love you, brother.
Glad we get to laugh because of your crazy antics that you do on stage. And again, thank you for being my guest at my birthday party and making everybody laugh. But keep up the great work. I look forward to seeing your book.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Jimmy. I love you, brother. Thank you, guys.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again soon. Peace.
Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the LLVLC.com.
Woo! Tired of playing the mask game? Me too. That's why I wanted to tell you about the Unmask. This is a breathable, completely breathable. It covers, you can't even see that it's breathable, but it's breathable. Whether you're going on a plane, having to go into a store and wearing this thing, playthemaskgame.com is how you can get this mask. They come in all kinds of colors and everything. In fact, right there, you can see right through it what it is, but when you're wearing it, it does not look like it's anything different, but it's breathable, baby. Playthemaskgame.com.
Have you experienced the dreaded keto flu? Did you know that most of these symptoms are actually due to your body dumping excess electrolytes? This is where Element comes in. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. Element is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs and is perfectly suited to folks following a keto, low-carb, or paleo diet. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, with none of the junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. Everyone needs electrolytes, especially those on low-carb diets, or if you practice intermittent or extended fasting, if you're physically active, or sweat a lot. Add Element today and see how much better you feel and perform. Use the URL drinklmnt.com/Jimmy.